Most people think the real battles in life are fought with fists, words, or power plays. But the real war is internal, quiet, invisible, and deadly. Every day your mind is being hijacked by fear, by distraction, by emotions you don't understand. You're not failing because you're weak. You're failing because no one taught you how to win the war in your head. They told you to be positive, to stay calm, but they never showed you the weapons. In the next 7 days, I'm going to hand them to you. We're going deep into Stoic training, dark psychological insights, and the most powerful mindset rituals that only a few people on Earth actually master. This isn't self-help fluff. This is mental warfare. Peace isn't passive, it's earned. Peace isn't soft, it's strategic. And once you master your mind, no one else can. Welcome to modern Stoicism, where we turn ancient truth into mental armor. If you're ready to become unshakable, subscribe now and join the few who live above the chaos. Let's begin day 1. The mind is not yours until you tame it. Day 1. The mind is not yours until you tame it. Let's start with the harshest truth first. Your mind isn't yours, not yet. You may live in your body, but you are not yet the master of your thoughts. What you think is you, your impulses, reactions, moods, is mostly programming. Reactions learned from trauma, thought loops absorbed from the media, emotions conditioned by repetition, not logic. You were never taught how to think, only how to feel. And most of those feelings were weapons pointed at you since childhood. Stoic insight. Observe, don't obey. The Stoics had a word for this. Prohairesis. Your ability to choose your response, no matter the external. Marcus Aurelius didn't rise to peace through positivity. He trained his mind like a warrior sharpens a blade. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But first, you must realize you are not your thoughts. You are the observer. And until you make that distinction, you will be a slave to whatever voice yells the loudest inside your head. Think about it. How many of your anxieties are actually yours? How often do you react before thinking? How often do you sit in silence and choose a thought instead of being dragged by one? This is mental slavery, and it's been normalized. Dark psychology. Twist. You've been infiltrated. Let's go deeper. Dark psychology teaches us that the most effective form of control is subtle suggestion repeated consistently. You are surrounded by triggers, advertisements, influencers, noise, politics, all designed to pull your emotional strings and make you react, not reflect. You are not weak, you are trained to be reactive, and the first step to mastering your mind is untraining the conditioning. That's where day 1 begins. Day 1. Challenge, the thought audit. Today, do this one powerful thing. Sit still, 5 minutes, no phone, no music, no movement, just silence. And when your mind floods with thoughts, write them down. Then ask yourself, is this thought useful? Is it even true? Who benefits from me believing this? You'll be shocked at how many voices are in your head that don't belong to you. That's not insanity. That's normal in a world designed to shape you instead of free you. Your goal for day 1 isn't to silence the mind. It's to separate from it. Become the observer. Watch the chaos. And then choose your next thought like a general chooses a tactic. That's the beginning of peace. Comment this below if you're ready to begin. My mind obeys me. Say it like a command to yourself. Out loud. Don't just write it. Believe it. Drop your most common intrusive thought in the comments and let's destroy it together. And if this hit you, like this video right now. It's not just for the algorithm. It tells you that you're ready to take this seriously. Day 2. Emotional leverage. Use feelings as weapons, not chains. They told you emotions are a weakness, but what if they were the most powerful weapon you have? Most people live like slaves to their feelings. They rise with joy, fall with anger, collapse with fear. Their mood is their master. But the Stoic doesn't suppress emotion. The Stoic weaponizes it. And the practitioner of dark psychology. They understand one thing very clearly. Emotion is the most persuasive force in human behavior, especially when it's controlled. Stoic insight: don't kill emotion, control it. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That suffering is emotional, created by perception. It's not the event, it's your judgment of the event that creates the pain. But here's the mistake most people make. They try to suppress emotions. They fight their anger. They choke back fear. They bury grief. And when you bury emotion, it doesn't die. It festers. The Stoic approach is different. You don't run from emotion. You ride it. You hold the reins. You master the storm instead of being swept away by it. You look at anger and say, "You are energy. I will direct you." You look at fear and say, "You are a map. I will follow you to my limits." You look at sadness and say, "You are a mirror. I will learn from you." Every feeling you have can either trap you or train you. Dark psychology twist. Leverage others' emotions too. Here's the part they won't teach in self-help books. Emotions aren't just something you control in yourself. They're something you recognize in others. People expose their deepest weaknesses through emotional reactions. Anger shows insecurity. Jealousy shows fear of inadequacy. Overconfidence masks desperation. A master of the mind learns to read emotions like code. Once you see the emotion behind the mask, you hold the strings. This isn't manipulation, it's awareness. Strategic empathy. The person who sees clearly controls silently. Day 2. Challenge. Emotional mapping. Here's what to do today. 1. Identify your strongest emotional trigger. What consistently throws you off balance, disrespect, rejection, uncertainty. 2. Pause when it hits. Don't react. Reflect. Ask, what is this feeling trying to teach me? How can I redirect this energy into action instead of reaction? 3. Observe someone else's emotion today. Not their words, their eyes, tone, posture. What are they really feeling underneath the surface? This is emotional leverage. You do not deny the emotion, you redirect it with discipline. You're building something 99% of people never even attempt: emotional mastery. Comment below right now, "I bend emotion. It does not bend me." Say it out loud and stamp it into your identity. Share your #1 emotional trigger in the comments and how you've learned to control it. Let's build strength together. If this made you rethink how you deal with emotions, like the video right now, show the algorithm that emotional power is the next evolution. Day 3. Embrace voluntary discomfort. Comfort breeds cowards. Discomfort reveals who you are. Comfort hides it. You've been told your whole life to seek comfort. Upgrade your lifestyle. Get more convenience. Avoid pain. But here's the truth. Comfort is the slowest form of death. And most people are already dead. They just haven't realized it yet. They live in thermostatically controlled lives, numbing themselves with distraction and dopamine, becoming softer by the hour. But a Stoic, a mind forged in fire, they train in discomfort on purpose. Why? Because the man who chooses hardship can never be controlled by it. Stoic insight. Train the body, train the mind. Epictetus, born a slave, said, "Difficulties show men what they are. Therefore, when a difficulty falls upon you, remember that God, like a trainer of wrestlers, has matched you with a rough young man." He meant this literally. He believed the soul is trained like a muscle, and like any muscle, it only grows under resistance. So if you want peace, you must first build power, and power is born in controlled suffering. That's why Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, sleeping on the floor even when they had beds, fasting even when food was available, wearing simple clothes in the presence of wealth, not because they hated pleasure, but because they refused to become slaves to it. You don't need to escape hardship. You need to expose yourself to it on your terms. Dark psychology twist. Desensitization is domination. Let's talk psychology. In behavioral conditioning, desensitization is a principle used to dull response through repetition. And this isn't just about phobias, it's about control. If you deliberately expose yourself to discomfort, you rob fear of its power. You condition your nervous system to treat chaos as normal, so when pressure hits, while others panic, you operate. That's what dark psychology teaches. The one who can remain calm in chaos becomes the calm in chaos. Control your comfort response, and you control your environment. Day 3. Challenge. Choose your hardship. Today, you intentionally do something uncomfortable. Pick one. Cold shower. Shock the system. Control your breathing. Own the discomfort. 12-hour fast. Reset your dependency on instant gratification. Sleep on the floor. Train the mind to be indifferent to luxury. Hard physical task. Push your body. Let it burn. Then go further. While doing it, repeat this mantra. I choose this. Pain is my permission slip for peace. You're not avoiding pain anymore. You're owning it. Comment this below right now to anchor it in your mind. Comfort weakens. Discomfort trains. Share what discomfort challenge you picked and how it made you feel. Let others learn from your pain. This is how we grow. Together. And if you're starting to feel the shift, like this video, it means you're ready. It tells you and the algorithm that you're leveling up. Day 4. Mastering influence. Outsmart manipulators before they use you. People aren't who they say they are. They are who their emotions reveal them to be. Most people go through life unaware of how deeply they're being influenced, emotionally manipulated, psychologically baited, behaviorally steered. You think your decisions are your own? Think again. You're being influenced by words designed to provoke you, images designed to seduce you, people trained to pull your emotional strings. But here's the Stoic advantage: perception. A Stoic doesn't react, he observes. A Stoic doesn't chase approval, he exposes motives. And when you mix Stoic detachment with dark psychological awareness, you become socially invisible and mentally untouchable. Stoic insight, see without judgment. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to see things objectively as they are. He knew that emotional reactions cloud judgment, and where there's emotion, there's influence. If someone can make you angry, they control you. If someone can flatter you, they own your self-worth. If you need validation, you're already under the spell. This is where your training becomes lethal. When you no longer react emotionally, you begin to see clearly, and clarity is power. Dark psychology twist. Decode the manipulators. Here's the truth. People reveal their manipulation tactics constantly, if you know what to look for. 4 common manipulation tactics and how to disarm them. Guilt trips. After everything I've done for you. Response. Remain silent. Do not explain. Guilt is leverage. Don't hand them the rope. Emotional blackmail. If you loved me, you would. Response. Ask calmly, why does love require obedience? Expose the tactic. Gaslighting. You're overreacting. That never happened. Response. Trust your memory. Write it down. Document facts. Truth doesn't need permission. Love, bombing and praise. Excessive flattery to lower your defenses. Response. Accept the compliment with detachment. Never become addicted to praise. The second you see the tactic, it loses its power. This is your new rule. When someone tries to trigger me, I study them instead. Day 4. Challenge. Spot the pattern. Today, do this. 1. Pick someone you interact with regularly. Pay attention, not to their words, but to how they speak. What emotional levers do they pull? What patterns repeat? 2. Choose detachment. Refuse to react emotionally. Watch what changes in their behavior when they can't manipulate you. 3. Reflect. Who in your life uses influence for control, and who earns it through respect? You're not building coldness, you're building clarity, and clarity ends manipulation, fast. Comment this right now below to anchor the mindset. I see the game, I play my own. Call out a manipulation tactic you've spotted in real life and how you handled it. Let's train each other to stay sharp. If this made you feel sharper, stronger, more aware, like this video right now. You're not just watching, you're evolving. Tomorrow we finish the war. Day 5 to 7, stillness is the superpower, final lock-in ritual. This is where your training becomes a state of being. Days 5 to 7, stillness is the superpower, final lock-in ritual. We trained the mind, we weaponized emotion, we embraced pain, we saw through the lies. Now it's time to master the final form, stillness. Stillness isn't weakness. Stillness is the strongest position on the chessboard of life. In a world addicted to speed, chaos, overstimulation, and drama, the calm man is the rarest man alive. He doesn't react. He doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He simply sees, thinks, decides, and in that silence, he becomes untouchable. Stoic insight, inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius wrote of the inner citadel, a fortress within the mind that no external chaos can breach. No matter what happens outside, your mind can remain intact, undisturbed, disciplined. Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free than within your own soul. Meditations. But this takes practice, and that's what days 5 to 7 are about. Not more doing, but learning the art of non-reaction, of holding your frame, of becoming the observer, not the pawn. Dark psychology twist. Stillness is psychological warfare. The quiet man unsettles people. Why? Because they can't read him, they can't provoke him, and that frustrates their need for control. Stillness is confusion for manipulators. Stillness is power to leaders. In dark psychology, silence isn't just absence, it's pressure. The moment you withhold a reaction, others begin to question themselves. They second-guess. They reveal more. Your calm becomes a mirror that shows them their chaos. That's why stillness is a superpower. It bends the world toward you, without you having to move. Days 5 to 7. Lock-in ritual, the 3 practices of peace. 1. The first hour. No inputs, no phone, no news, no stimulation. You wake up and sit in silence. You write. You think. You breathe. You begin your day by owning your mind before the world tries to hijack it. 2. The response delay. For 3 days, whenever someone triggers you, pause. Don't respond for 5 seconds. Count. Breathe. Choose your tone. Watch how power shifts instantly. 3. The evening audit. Before bed, write down. What triggered me today? Did I react or respond? What did I learn about my own mind? This audit is your daily blacksmithing, the forge where you sharpen yourself in silence. Comment this phrase below, your final anchor to the training. I move in silence. I strike with intention. Drop your biggest win from the last 7 days. What changed? What clicked? What part of your mind did you finally claim? If this journey gave you clarity, strength, or stillness, like the video right now, it shows you're not just watching, you're becoming. You are now a mental warrior. But this is just the beginning. You now understand what few ever do, that peace is not passive, it's earned through battle. That power is not noise, it's controlled silence, and that the mind is your kingdom. No one rules it but you. But if you want to stay sharp, stay disciplined, and keep growing, you need to be surrounded by others on the path. Subscribe to Modern Stoicism right now. Turn on all notifications, because I'm building an army of calm, strategic minds, and you are one of them. This was just the first campaign. Your next challenge awaits.